And then he lost his job, his house, his possessions. And just when he thought he'd hit bottom, he learned he had AIDS. Wynne decided to go public with his disease in the way he knows best. As People magazine reported, he went back on the air with a weekly journal giving viewers a first-person account of living with AIDS.
There are lots of people who know more about HIV than I do, but I'm the person that can put the package together in 90 seconds and get it out there to people. That's extremely valuable, and it's my legacy, my contribution to the history of this worst epidemic of the century.
The doctor said to me, Paul, maybe it's time for you to consider using a cane. Not on your life.
Paul Wynne's journal appears on KGO's 6 o'clock news. It's unlike any AIDS program you've ever seen. Personal, human, sometimes even outraged. For instance, this elegant dinner party 2 male friends attended.
And she seats the 2 guys down at the end of the table. And there for them, 2 paper plates, 2 plastic forks, 2 plastic cups. Now, these guys didn't have AIDS. I don't even know if they were antibody positive. Did she think that their silverware would contaminate her dishwasher?
Wynne doesn't know when he contracted the disease. What he does know is that he doesn't have a lot of time left.
I just flat out have been exhausted since yesterday.
Yeah.
I slept all morning, slept right
I think I'm stating the facts of HIV. I say where it hurts. I say where it's funny. I say we're normal people who want to get out there and have a job, and we can't give you any of the illness, and we need nurturing and warmth. The public seems to be very frightened about it, so I'm trying to let them know it's okay, it's okay.
The journal has become the centerpiece of his life, but it's not easy. On this day, the simple act of climbing stairs requires the help of his producer, David Sampson. Still, he never loses an opportunity to perform.
Hey, turn on the little light.
All live music and
This is how a healthy Paul Wynne looked in the 1980s. San Franciscans knew him as an energetic, outspoken entertainment reporter.
Well, I want to nominate Scanners as the singularly most sickening film of the year.
In 1984, a change in management cost him his job. Wynne became ill with AIDS last year, losing 55 pounds in just a few months. Now he suffers from a painful nerve disorder in his legs. He remembers when he found out he was HIV positive.
I went upstairs and sat on the bed, shook my head and ordered a pepperoni pizza. I thought, today I do not have to cook. Ordered a large. Ate it all, too.
To reporter Paul Wynne, AIDS is the cruelest of ironies. It has given him the most important story of his life and taken away his strength to cover it. Virtually everything Paul Wynne experiences ends up on the journal, even his hospital visits.
Fatigue?
Severe.
Severe?
Wasting is an AIDS killer. You lose and lose weight for no reason. And finally, weak and easy prey for infections.
Wynne was taking an experimental drug to stimulate his appetite. In 3 months on the drug, Wynne had gained some desperately needed weight. But on this day, it was less than he expected.
May, I want you to understand, I want you to understand, this is the high point of my month. It is not getting my paycheck. It is not going for a ride. It is not a hot date. It is, have I gained a few pounds?
But just 3 weeks later, after Wynne filed that report, his meager weight gain had reversed itself.
So I've lost 8 pounds. I know that. I haven't had any appetite. I haven't been eating. I'm a skeleton. I'm falling a lot.
Wynne's disappointment with his latest drug is not a letdown for long. He simply turns it into a satiric look at his 3-year collection of medicines.
Pill, 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 pill. Good.
All right, that's perfect.
The simplest shoot wears him out. but it's worth it to Paul Wynne.
I can be sick and feeling awful and harassed and mad and angry at the world, and you get a video camera around, it energizes me. It just gives me joy to make television.
His friend and cameraman, Lorne Morrison, says it's getting more difficult for Wynne to do the work he loves.
Paul isn't always easy to work with because the very thing that is his life's work now is the thing that's killing him. The journal makes him face his condition, and it's a very frightening thing.
All right, let's continue. I'm sorry, I'm really scared. I really am.
I understand that.
I am sleeping all day. I am obviously down. I'm scared to death.
You change your medication, and that's going to happen. That's what I think. Yeah, I know you don't want to hear that. Oh, this is...
Age stinks.
Still, his good humor is irrepressible.
Yesterday was spring, huh?
Yeah, first day of spring. Another year, huh?
Will I see another spring? Let's get on it out.
For Wynne and others with HIV, the real struggle is not dying with AIDS. The struggle is living with it.
I cry all the time. I don't know. I am the Tammy Baker of HIV, I tell you. Sometimes I puddle up for 5-10 seconds. Sometimes when I'm alone and think of very dear friends who are gone. Isn't that the hardest part? Those of us, it's a little selfish, I guess, but those of us who are left to carry on. I cry when I think of those who left too soon and didn't have to.
For Wynne, there's not only sorrow. As the clock runs down, there's anger. At the Names Quilt headquarters, a memorial to those who died of AIDS, Wynne showed it.
My favorite Names quilt, and I don't remember the man's name, but it said something like, Charlie Evans, he died too damn soon.
Cleve Jones started the Names Quilt project. He's a regular viewer of Paul Wynne's journal. When you see him on television with his journal, what does that do for you? Has there been one or two journal topics that really got you?
The one that got me the most was, I think, fairly recent when you were on Muni and just talking about the day-to-day struggle.
I had fallen down, Bree, on the bus. Nobody would do something as simple as help me to my feet. Did I look like I had AIDS? Should we touch him? No one would help me to my feet, and I'm just too weak and skinny to get up, so I pulled myself up, you know, those chrome poles, just to get up. So, my fellow passengers, where you been?
I'm not afraid of dying. It's just that for the first time in my life, all my dreams are coming true, and I'm having this wonderful, wonderful ride. Everything I'd always dreamed of in show business and media. And the irony is, it's of limited time, isn't it? It's going to come. Well, let's just say there isn't going to be a happy ending.
When that end does come, Wynne knows what he wants. In typical fashion, his memorial service plans became another episode of Paul Wynne's journal.
The end. It'll be very short. A short service. In show business, I've always been a supporting player. I get on, be brief, and get off. Oh, yes. One last thing. I want a full house. If you have to, hire them and dress fun. And hear me when I say this to you. It's been a joy knowing all of you. Then, now, everybody out for ice cream. And yeah, it's on me.
Paul Wynne's condition has not improved since our report, but even a recent hospital stay failed to slow him down. He simply produced a bedside edition of Paul Wynne's journal. When we come back...